Right, what is going on, guys? Apparently the PTS notes patches will be dropping soon. Just gonna double check the sound is all good. Yeah, it's all good. Right, yeah. So I'm just gonna be doing farming the staff and yeah, talking about the patch notes update 42 that's gonna be dropping for the Gold Road. And just gonna see, discuss about it before it actually hits. And when it does hit, we'll go over to the website and have a quick flick through. See if there's any stuff we like, or is there any really bad stuff, and then I'll probably condense it into a video down the line, probably tomorrow or something. So yeah, hopefully some Necromancer buffs. I think that's number one, isn't it? Templar changes, and it's going to be information obviously about all the scribing system. The new chapter, of course. So yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Let's discuss update 42 when it actually drops. Let me just see. I've been checking the website obviously when it's meant to drop in the next hour or two, from what I've heard. So hopefully it will be soon. But there's no as of yet. Are we getting the next round of Infinite Archive class sets? Yeah, that's something I never even thought of, to be honest. Yeah, that could be something really good. Adds in some more sets to the Infinite Archive, as it is infinite, so there should be a little bit more to it. I'm not a big fan of these sets at the moment. The Necromancer one's not too bad, but like I said, it definitely needs a little bit of love, without a doubt, But yeah, the update 42, hopefully we'll have some interesting changes. Obviously it would just be week 1. I definitely will be testing it on the PC as well. I'm on console at the moment. As you can tell, it's Game Pass by the awful graphics. And we'll see what they're going to drop. But once it does drop, I will then minimise it. I've got no hits on that boss at all, mate. I will then minimise the game, and then we'll go on the website and see what they're saying. See what they're planning. Would love a permanent Necro pet set. Yeah, I mean, like, Necro is pet class, it should be. The pet should be permanent. That could be a nice little change. That's its sort of identity. It's like an underpowered Warden at the moment. The pets drop off. The pet should be a permanent thing. Yeah, the pet should be like a permanent thing. Definitely on the Necromancer class, without a doubt. There's definitely some little tweaks and changes they can make. Obviously, put on some much needed class buffs is definitely an obvious one to be doing. And the same with Templar as well. It's got the strong beam. It doesn't really have anything else that's really pushing it to the forefront, unfortunately. So hopefully it will get some nice changes down the line. But I will be going through the patch notes, just a quick flick through, just to see if there's anything of interest, and just see what they're going to do, what their plans are. But as of yet, unless anyone knows, I've been checking the website. It's not dropped yet, so I'm just going to be doing a bit of rambling basically, and just doing some geysers, trying to get this damn staff page. I still haven't got. Don't know if has anyone actually got this staff page. Let me know in the comments. Has anyone actually got it yet? It's been quite a few topics of it being super hard drop, and it definitely is. I think the new PvP event, random versus added a BG, that would be the sweet. Yeah, we won't get any information of that, unfortunately, till near the end of the year. But yeah, that's a new PvP event, random versus. I mean, that's just such a simple thing they could just add another mode to PGs in it. You know what I mean? That's just a simple change that would do so much. So there are some nice comments there, Zombie. So definitely, yeah, adding a few things, a couple of maps even, you'd be happy with that, wouldn't you? You'd be happy with anything at this point. But yeah, they're going to make, they're going to be making changes, obviously, as they do. But PvP obviously needs a little love, but we're not going to get that till the end of the year. It's a PvP system, that's all we know. Here goes the inventory. So yeah, it's a PvP system, but as of what, we don't know. I reckon, yeah, like some sort of versus arena, instant based. Obviously not in Cyrodiil, we know that. But yeah, it will be interesting when they drop, so I'm going to keep my eye on the website and just wait for it to drop. It should be in an hour or two. I don't want it to be an insanely long stream, so hopefully it won't be too long. We can get straight into the patch notes. We'll just have to wait and see what they say. And if they drop them, they might be having some trouble. I just wish they'd give a bit of an ETA so you knew. So I thought I would join in and do a live stream, and we can just do a live reaction basically of the patch notes and what's going to be changing. Are they buffing Nightblade again? I bet they will be, because they always buff Nightblade. They must all main Nightblade. Right, so let me quickly check, see if there's anything jumping around. I don't think so. It's still looking quiet. No, it's looking quiet, so yeah, we will continue on. Yeah, but yeah, just let me know in the comments what people think will be in this upcoming patch. Are you going to hope for more Necromancer buffs? Are you hoping for some Templar buffs? You know, is Nightblade finally going to get gutted? Long overdue. Obviously you don't want to see things severely gutted so they're not usable, but you know, they need to be brought more in line obviously with other classes. And obviously Necromancer, yeah, needs that. I think, yeah, persistent pets, just like the Sorcerer, would definitely be a nice little touch. And a couple of, definitely a source of Major Brutality. I'm sure Necromancer hasn't got a CC either, so that's another thing they could put in, just, you know, just a couple of little tweaks. With Templar, I'm not really sure. Templar's got strong healing, but I suppose it lacks burst. I mean, I know it's got really good execute, obviously, with the Jesus beam, the radiant oppression. But yeah, just let me know in the comments what do you think update 42 is going to bring. Obviously, we know it's going to bring information about the new chapter and what they're planning, but it's in particular I'm more interested in what is actually going to be changed for better or for worse, in which class. So it's definitely going to be very interesting. I didn't think the patch notes would be releasing this early, to be honest, but I suppose, you know, the PTS, they do need to test things and tweak things, and whatever they do release as well is only week 1, so they could then implement, you know, further changes and adjustments down the line, because I think it does go on for about 5 or 6 weeks, doesn't it, the PTS. So, and I will be going on the PC account and the PTS and just logging in and seeing how it actually is on live as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But everyone, like the stream if you could please, and just comment any suggestions or anything you've got, theories of what is going to be in update 42 basically. And everyone is still farming this staff, so obviously it's definitely an insanely hard drop because no one is getting it barely. I have seen it in the zone chat a few times, but not too many times. So it's definitely very, very tricky. I'm beyond caring now though, to be honest. If I don't get the staff, I'm not really bothered. I'm just literally leveling this bow skill line on the Necromancer, so if I don't get it, I've sort of accepted it now. So but yeah, apparently it's going to be in an hour or two, hopefully sooner, unless they have problems. I mean, if it goes on for like 3 hours, then obviously I'm gonna have to jump off, and then I'll do a video of I'll pick out all the interesting bits and that. You ever played ESO on PlayStation? No, I haven't. I wish I could, so I could stream to YouTube direct. It's a right pain trying to stream from Xbox, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I would do. If I had a PlayStation, I'd probably, knowing me, I would probably make a Elder Scrolls account on PlayStation as well. Because it's easy to stream, and then I'll be on pretty much every platform. I was going on PCNA and Xbox EU. But this is like the most buzz I've ever seen on Xbox. It's like normally dead as a doornail. But yeah, hopefully there will be Necromancer changes. There's got to be, surely. They can't, but you know, they've gutted the class. I mean, yes, you can still make good builds. It's just a lot more challenging, a lot more trickier. You know, but what are they going to actually bring that's going to bring it to the table, bring it, you know, more in line with the other classes, as it's lagged behind for so long. You know, Templar, obviously you could do with it, and then they've got amazing healing and defence. But they definitely need a few buffs as well here and there. They need to, you know, maybe tone down the Nightblades. I think the Sorcerer, the Stam Sorcerers, I don't know what's going on with them, mate, but the Stam Sorcerers are just elite. There is no contest. If you're against the Stam and the Sorcerer, they're unbeatable. Unless, of course, you're on a Stam Sorcerer as well. I'm from UK and play PCNA 2. I'm Necro, yeah. So yeah, I play PCNA. I just find it's quite a very busy server. And obviously where I've had like bad experiences with the EU server on Xbox, I thought, well, I'll go on the NA one, as I thought it might be a bit better. And it is a good server. But obviously maybe the EU one's good as well, I just don't know. I just thought I'd try my luck with the NA one. But yeah, I mean, Nightblade needs a toning down. I prefer the fights on Cyrodiil and A, yeah. I mean, I haven't really done a lot of Cyrodiil on PC because it's just the mount speed's just abysmal at the moment. But I will be going into Cyrodiil on PC and A properly. Just mostly do BGs and stuff and a bit of Imperial City because there's no travel time as such. I'll check the forums again in a minute. After this guys goes, I will check the forums, see if they've posted anything. But yeah, Stam Sorcerers, they are just absolute elite. I think they're even, I don't know, I think they're even above Nightblades. They're really pushing it. I've seen some really scary Stam Sorcerers out there. They really hit super hard, super high mobility. I really thought Magicka Sorcerer was actually better, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I know they're probably running, well, I'm sure they're running the Hardened Ward on the back bar. It's just buffed them even more. They're just so strong. Their just burst is just crazy. And you know, they're definitely on par with Nightblade, without a doubt. There's not even any, you know, there's definitely a contest between the two. But Stam Sorcerers are just, a good Stam Sorcerer, you're in a world of trouble. But mind you, like I said, any good player can make any class, you know, really effective anyway. But I think just on the whole, the Stam Sorcerers in the right hands, they are really a force to be reckoned with. And I really thought the Nightblades were the, you know, top dog, but I'm not so sure now. Am I going to get my... No, I'm not going to get anything. So yeah, what does everyone reckon of the Sorcerer at the moment? I mean, I think I don't want to say it needs toning down because it's been not in the best place, I suppose, but it just seems to be too elite now. And obviously the Nightblades, I think they've had their day. They've got to drop down a little bit. I think the Wardens had some buffs with the ice staff and that, and they've had a few bits, and they've still got the monster health and healing, so I think they're okay. I main Mage Sork haven't had this much fun since the early days. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I used to main Mage Sork and that, and then I sort of just trailed off because I just found it a bit difficult, a bit tricky. You know, managing lots of shields and that, and lots of trying to struggle to put things on bars, and I did sort of shy away from it, unfortunately. But yeah, like you said, you have not had this much fun since the original days, and it's really good at the moment. It's definitely a lot of fun. I will be doing another sorcerer build before they get it. Hopefully they don't. But the burst heal on the hardened ward is absolutely crazy. It really keeps you going, and just stacking that max magicka. But yeah, the stam sorcerers as well, they are really, really hard to deal with. They just so quick, so rapid, so bursty, and you know, they stun you and it's just over with the frags and the bound armaments. It's just so much burst. So I don't know if they're going to make any adjustments. We'll have to see. I was going to check the patch thing, if the patch notes drops. I'll check it after this one, definitely. Everyone like the stream, please. But yeah, we'll see what they actually implement. Like I said, it could change. It'll just be the week 1. It's basically, like I said, they you know, they make changes, but week 1 is still generally what they're going to be going for. It could be, you know, it could change here and there, and they do make some adjustments, but they don't normally go back on anything too much. Permanent necro minions or boost the duration to a minute. They need way less micromanage. Yeah, I did notice that. Even on this build I'm working on, it's a constant micromanage in it. Like the what's it called? The Spirit Guardian. That should be like double the length. That's just like buff, 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 buff. That's all you're doing it. They should be permanent till they're killed, just like the sorcerer ones are. Or yeah, a minute. Just give us a bit more time. So all you do is buff it, and Walden does suffer from that as well. But again, their pet is permanent in it, which is in what the Wild Guardian bear. Which, unless it's killed, of course, you know, understandable. If they get killed, then you got to recast them. But I think, you know, when you're casting spirits and stuff. But the problem is, how would they make it? Because you need the corpses, didn't you, to buff stuff. So there's sort of, the pets have got to die to buff the corpse thing and certain skills. So it does definitely needs a big shake up. But we'll have to see. I will check after this if I can remember. Just keep spamming executioner. It works a treat. No, it don't work good enough. Oh, stay on the back bar bow, for God's sake. Hit the, what is this? Oh. Right, so I will check it now. Just check I ain't got my staff. Where's my style page? Right, so let's go back on the thingy. Is there anything? And like I said, when it does come up, I will drop this and go onto the website fully so everyone can see. No, I don't think there is anything I can see. I just have to double check. Oh, it's looking quiet. It's looking quiet. Necro's a buff class. Flameskull gives you a corpse. Yeah, so it is just a... I mean, they said there is some nice builds you can do. It's just very, very hard to put together, and it is too much micromanaging. Like I said, they did buff the Flameskull, but it's slow, isn't it, and clunky. A lot of the skills are clunky. And that's why you sort of, like this build I'm doing in particular, I'm sort of just using a lot of weapon, you know, two-handed skills. I've literally got 4 on the front bar, and the sort of the back bar ones are more necro. But yeah, it's hard to get it all together. It's definitely hard. But yeah, I've dropped my new necro build, the Death Knight, earlier today. I dropped it. It's a really good build. A lot of bleed damage, a lot of nice burst if you line it up perfectly and do nice combos and that. So yeah, I'm going to do this necro build that I'm running at the moment. I'm just still leveling the bow line. It's almost there. But you know, hopefully we get some good changes. You could get some bad changes. You know, you could really. And I think the change to the blast bones was a bit funny. I mean, I know it's good on bombs. I've seen the sacrificial blast bones. I've seen good on bomb builds. So there might, you know, there is definitely uses, but it's very. They're not universally usable for everything, and that's the problem, I think. I see why a lot of players use Oakensoul for Necros, yeah, because they lack so many buffs, and Necro really does compensate. It's hard to squeeze everything on a 1-bar Necro, but you know, I've done it with my build, it does work. It's a lot of fun. It's just, ideally you'd want the 2-bar, just for that more. It's just the buffs, you just got to keep chasing buffs. I mean, you do get the Major Vulnerability, which was unique for Necromancer, and then they made it, you know, non-unique because you could get it from other sources, which was another kick in the teeth for Necro. So we just have to see. They've got to be doing something. They can't. I know it's all going to be about Gold Road, of course, and the scribing system. You know, the new trial and stuff. You know, it's going to be, but there's got to be some class changes. But Oakensoul, yeah, that's why it's just such a go-to, and especially for classes that are lacking, like the, you know, the Necromancer, they definitely benefit from the Oakensoul. So, new to Necro, Oakensoul is definitely a nice stepping stone. And you know, you don't even have to leave 1-bar builds. Sometimes I don't even leave 1-bar builds. I just, you know, because some of them are really effective. They do work well. Mate, this staff page just does not drop. I don't know, I don't want to say it, but I've probably done, say, 70 to 80 of these geyser things, and nothing, mate. Oh, I thought I had in there, I thought I had 2 of them there. No, you must be joking. But yeah, they've got to do some nice updates, some nice tweaks. I mean, the scribing system is definitely going to shake things up. You know, hopefully the Necromancer can use a lot of the stuff. You know, it can be twisted into their favour. You know, pick up what they're lacking. After this one, I'll check again. And like I said, once they're live, I'll then end this game session and pop the website up, and we'll have a flick through and see what's coming, what they've got in store for us. Hopefully, I'm hoping there are going to be some heavy attack sets as well, just to shake things up in PvE again. There's just so few heavy attack sets that are viable. You know, so hopefully some heavy attack sets. You know, yeah, because it should show you what sets there is. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping they will show what sets, and that's going to be nice to see. You know, what some more fresh sets, and hopefully it's just not another load of proc sets. Even though I do enjoy ones with procs and animations, but I do feel like some bash sets would be nice, or even one, or a you know, a heavy attack sets would be good. But obviously we don't know what's in store, so but after this one I'll definitely check, see if the patch notes are live or not. But they should be going live very, very soon, so stay tuned and we can go through them together, see what we think. Mate, there's so many people on these things. I just think everyone's just not getting these style page drops. It must be, like, I reckon it's 1 in 500, this style page drop on these. It's got to be. So I'm not even getting experience with hitting these things. It's just, I'm tapping, I'm not even hitting it, so I might as well just stand here. But yeah, I'll try and hit on the boss, but I still can't get enough damage for a drop of the anniversary boxes. But mind you, I've had a lot of them. I'm not too bothered now. It's really just to level the bow and obviously get that style page. I don't think I'm going to get it though, because obviously with the patch notes dropping and that, I'm going to move on and be doing other things. I don't want to I've lingered here for about 3 or 4 days doing this, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to keep devoting my time to this, so I'm just doing it at the moment just to hopefully get lucky. But once the bow level's lined, is done, that's pretty much me done with this. Oh, 40, that's something. But yeah, we can, you know, go through the patch notes. I might not fully go through them, I just want to skim through them and highlight all the, you know, the class bits in particular is what I will be looking at. Let's have a quick look now, see if they're dropping. I'm rambling, they could already be live. Are they live? No, let me just check this. I think this is an old one. No, there is nothing live. So it continues. But yeah, just stick with me and we'll see if anything does crop up. And also, you know, have a discussion in the comments, you know, what changes you'd like to see, what you want buffed, what do you want nerfed, what do you want adjusted. You know, there's probably bound to be new mythics and stuff. What do you think they're going to be dropping? You know, is it going to be anything good? Or is it going to, you know, shake up the system? I would like to see some bash build sets and some heavy attacks. I don't even know where I'm going. I would just teleport because I've mucked it up. I'd like to see a bash build set. Something that's going to bash, you know, something that's going to bash down. Something that's going to be better for bash builds, you know. A necro dot buff, please. Yep, that would be lovely. Anything to necro would be welcome. I mean, I think they did add the disease status effects to blast bones. I could be wrong. So they have made some tiny little buffs to necromancer, but it's just, you know, gutting the blast bones. That really, you know, wasn't. I don't think it was a good move. I actually thought they had actually got rid of the blast bones completely. I just thought it was literally something that would just buff you, and that's it. It's gone. You know, it's not a damage thing anymore. But luckily, the stamina morph is still there. So hopefully they will do some changes. Do you know what I think they should do? Do you know what would be the best buff that Necromancer needs? Look, have a look at this. In the comments, that's what the class needs, which I don't think that buff is actually in the game. The Wardens get minor toughness, don't they? But imagine if Necro got access to major toughness, which I think minor toughness gives you 10% health bonus. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, major toughness, which I don't think is an accessible buff in the game. Imagine if they just gave that to Necro on one of the skill passives, the class passive line. That would be really good, wouldn't it? That would shake things up. You'd see Necromancers rocking massive health, being hard to burst down, being really tanky. That would throw things up, wouldn't it? Major toughness. I'm sure that hasn't been implemented in the game. Let me know in the comments if it has, but I'm pretty sure major toughness is not in the game. I'll just double check, but I'm sure it ain't. No, it's not. Major toughness, that would be something really good. That's what I want. Something that's really going to shake things up and bring Necro to the forefront. As it is a paid DLC class as well, so I do feel it should have maybe a slight edge like Warden does, you know, the health and the healing. I mean, Necros excel in bombing, and they do have some nice burstiness if you can time it well enough. And they can obviously make really good tank bots. I'm talking from a PvP perspective as well, by the way. But yeah, just some nice changes. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think should be changed, or adjusted, or what you'd like to see. After this one I'll be checking again, so I'm just going to keep checking until it does drop. Hopefully it will be soon. It's got to be soon, surely. So am I going to the right one? Yes, I'm going to the right one. But yeah, we need some information, Zos. Come on, we need to know what is happening, where you're taking this game, what you're doing with our classes. Are they going to be nice changes, or you can't gut Necro anymore? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Are they going to gut Necro again, or do you think it's going to be the patch note that's going to be the saving grace for Necro? And even Templar, is it going to be the thing that's going to bring them back? So after this last geyser, I will check geyser. I will check the website again, and hopefully we're going to see them live. But if anyone knows if they're live, just let me know in the comments. But I will be checking frequently, like every other one, in between. I should really just hold down heavy attack. I wish people would group up more as well. Like I did form a group earlier today, and it was good because everyone was getting hits. But when you don't have a group, it's hard to get tags. Especially when I'm just rocking the bow on the backbone. I've got nothing to sort of damage it, apart from just heavy and light attack. I could bash, can I? Bash Necro, that's an idea. But yeah, I'll check after this, see if anything is going down. Everyone like the stream as well, please. And like I said, let me know in the comments what changes you would like to see. What are you hoping for? What are you expecting? We know we're going to see Gold Road stuff about the latest chapter. But in particular, the class changes is what we're sort of, from a PvP perspective. But obviously I will touch on some things as well, see what they're actually going to say. New PvP is going to be Battle Royale, last man or team standing wins. Yeah, I think that would be brilliant. I know it would be chaotic and it can be unbalanced, but the game's 10 years old now. It needs a nice PvP update to really bring it back. And that would be something that would really shake things up, be fun. I mean, so what if you don't win, or there's people getting a bit dominating? So what? It's just, I think it would be a good thing to do. I know there could be things where people could totally dominate and you can just never kill them, but there could be certain win conditions and stuff, other stuff they could really chuck in and twist it a little bit, keep it as balanced as possible. Necro's skull could always apply status effect. Yeah, I mean, that would be something. I mean, it does hit hard, the skull. I did underestimate the skull, and I think a lot of people do. The skull does hit quite hard. It's just slow, and I think it's a bit clunky. What people have said. I have used it a little bit, but not too much. Or every 3 does. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could bring Necro back. I mean, I don't know what they could do with Templar, to be honest, because the defense and healing is definitely there. They're very much stand your ground, stand in the buffs, hard to put down. I suppose they need more burst, but they're definitely, it's hard to contend with Stam Sorcerers and Night Blades at the moment. I'm going to check on the website again. Let's have a look, because I said I was going to, and I just keep forgetting. Right, so let's go in, see if there's anything dropping. Has anything dropped? Come on, Zos, what are you doing, mate? No, I don't think there's anything yet. It continues. Have you seen the Necro Bow Ganker videos? Dr. Gankenstein. Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he's really good. It's nice to see a different, more unique builds, and that's what I like when people bring different things to the table. But yeah, I think I am subscribed to him as well. He does some good builds, good ganking builds and stuff. But I didn't know he'd done Necrobo ganker videos. I have to check them out. But that's what I said. That's what's good about the game. You know, if people use their creativity, you can do a lot of good builds, and following the meta and that can get a bit lame. I think I've only got one meta build, to be honest, and obviously all my other builds are just more sort of off meta, against the grain, and that's what makes ESO fun. When you start using, so many sets in the game, but unfortunately, half of them are, not very good. So hopefully they will bring some much needed changes and maybe bring some new. They could even buff some sets, couldn't they? Don't have to keep adding sets. To be honest, I think the game's got enough sets. Or remove some of the older sets, or bring some of the sets back. Like Spriggan used to be a big one, didn't it? No one uses it now. Armour Master used to be a big one. Sorry, that was a quick drink break.
Hello.
Yes, hello. So yeah, hopefully we will see some changes, and hopefully see some good stuff coming. But there's just no ETA on when they're actually going to drop these patch notes. Apparently within the next hour. It should be within the next hour. So I'm hoping I can stay on long enough and then see these notes. Because I'm getting bored of doing these, to be honest. I mean, I've done quite a lot. I'm not really that bothered about the style page anymore, but I will do a few more. You do get some nice drops anyway, so it's not really, end the world. You're not getting anything. I just wish the fishing one, the True Flame sword, was going to be a really massive grind like this, and I was going to earn tons of perfect row and be rich. That was the plan. And it's not worked that way. I literally got it within like 40 casts. So after this one I will check again. I think, like Necromancer, like even silly things they could just do, like even if they don't want to get into it and they haven't got the time to do Necromancer, or for whatever reason, do you know what I mean? They could just buff these a little bit, like double the penetration on Dismember, increase the damage over time effects by 15%. They could just do simple things. It doesn't have to be something overly complicated. Increase the max health by, give it major toughness. I think that'd be really good. I know that might be a little bit overkill, but be something to shake everything up, wouldn't it? Or you generate 20 ultimate, not 10 ultimate. Just little simple things. But I will check again after this, because I do want to get into the patch notes, but because I know some other people have been streaming for hours waiting for the patch notes and it's just not dropped yet, but hopefully it will be now. Let me know in the comments if it has dropped, and also let me know in the comments of any changes you'd like to see, what you're looking forward to, what you're worried about. I'm worried about the scribing system, if it's going to make things really unbalanced, but mind you, this game's always been unbalanced. Dragon Knights have always been in a good spot. It's time Necromancer had its time, or Werewolf. Again, I like they have come back a little bit, which is nice. I'd like to see a good Werewolf set or a Werewolf mythic again. Maybe nerf the Vampire. Does that really need to still be going the way it is? Yeah, Nightblade needs a buff. I mean, if they buff it anymore, I think you might as well just delete the rest of the classes. I do like, I mean, I'm a fan of all the classes. I mean, I just think, you know, balance is needed. I've got a Galen treasure map. That's going to be worth some money. That's going to be nice. But, we'll see. So let's check the website. See if they've done anything there. Come on, Zos. We're desperate. We're waiting. We need these patch notes. At least announce, like say, oh, we're not bringing them. But it's looking. It's not looking like there's anything at the moment still. So we will soldier on. So I'm just joking. Yeah, I know you was joking. That'd be crazy wouldn't it, if they had another buff. Just give them access to what could major vulnerability, which you can get through the monster set anyway, but that would be jokes. But I think you know, Stam sorcerers are just crazy. That's the only thing that can, mage sorcerers and Stam sorcerers, the only thing that can really contend with Nightblades at a top level. But yeah, the Stam sorcerers, they just hit super hard. They're just crazy burst, crazy sustain. They've got a shield healing them as well. Nightblades online, yeah. I reckon everyone that works at the company, they must all main Nightblades. Without that, Nightblades online, I like that. Time to make it Necromancers online. Has anyone actually had this style page? I don't think anyone in any of my comments has said, oh yeah, I've got this style page, I've actually had it drop them. Maybe one person, I can't remember, but it's just, this is an awful drop, isn't it? But yeah, I'll definitely stop this, I think, once the patch notes drop, and we'll have a quick flick through. And if they do drop and I'm not on doing the live anymore, then I'll definitely do a video highlighting all the good points of the class changes and things, and what I think of it, my opinion. As I know all the classes pretty well, to be fair now. So hopefully I'll be able to judge what's good and what's bad. I'm just gonna have to onslaught this, try and get some damage on it. Probably not gonna work. No, I did not get enough damage there. But my inventory is full again. So all that happens in this game now is just constant inventory management. Another streamer is doing the notes. Have they dropped already? Oh, let's have a look then. See if there's anything. I could be rambling for no reason. Oh my god, they've dropped. Right, so I'll swap over to the website now then, and we will be having a look. So I will minimise this. Let's get into it. Thank you for letting me know. Must have literally just dropped the second I checked. Right, here we go. Let's refresh the page. And here are the patch notes. So patch notes version 10.0.0. So they must have done them at 3:30 PM. And we will get into it. So, welcome to the latest chapter, Gold Road. Let's see what we've got. So there's a variety of new item sets, new mythic items, 22 new skill styles, that's good. The base game adds HDR support, that's very nice. It's a 5 gig update, that's pretty good. So we'll go through the overview and everything. So as expected, it will be, you know, regarding the Gold Road chapter, which we knew, the new zone Westfield. You can create a new character tutorial, character templates, Yep, so we know this is basic stuff that they do with every chapter. Yep, so let's have a look. 9 full-length objectives tied directly to the zone story, so that's supposed to be the quest. You've got 2 public dungeons, new world events, we've got world bosses through the Westworld, 12-player trial, which we know, there's 3 new crafting set locations, Miramore incursions, so that's going to be like the Apothrica ones. Just check my sound's all good. Should be all good. Yeah, it's all good, yeah. So, seek out Miramore incursion sites in the Westworld. So, yeah, defeat. That's going to be things that sort of spawn incursions. So, yeah, will be like the Apothrica things, I would imagine. Scribing. This is the whole new system they're bringing, which is basically spell crafting, as we know. I'm not really going to get into the scribing, to be honest, because that is quite in depth. But I would be checking that out on the PC, of course, with the the PTS. So customizable skills. I know there's a shield throw. That's going to be nice. You know, there's definitely going to be some nice things. It's going to shake things up. It's going to be good. Quite at least rank 25 in the skill line, so they're going to be quite grindy, which is I suppose is going to be expected. Just like the antiquity system is very grindy. So yeah, there's going to be some new skills, basically. It's going to be nice. And the scripts is how you, I think, make adjustments and make them more unique. Skill styling. ESO has countless ways used to customise your character's appearance and skills. We've excited to introduce customising collectible skill styles. So there's, yeah, that's going to be. This is a bit controversial, to be honest, because I know that some people, you like to see what other people are throwing at you, and it's going to make it definitely more difficult if there's different colour variations. So I don't know what everyone's opinion is on that, because obviously, you know, you might not be able to gather what people are throwing at you as much, unless obviously you die and you can see the actual death recap. So it's a good thing because people can't copy your stuff, but it might be bad in another way because obviously you can't see what's being thrown at you as well. The new trial is the Lucent Citadel on the outskirts of Fargrave City District. So that was obviously the new 12-player trial, which I do like. I do love a new trial, so that's going to be good. Right, so new sets. This is what I want to look at. So the new sets, we've got Overland set. It's light armor. Adds 3 lines of weapon spell damage, so that's good. So I could use that on, say, a 1-bar build when you can't run 2 full sets in the monster, so that's nice. Adds 200% status effect chance where your health is above 50, and adds 10% healing. That's quite nice. So if you're doing a really plenty of status effects all combined into one, that could be quite nice. Combine that with charge, that could be crazy. Macabre's Vintage medium, so it's again 3 lines or 4 lines of weapon and spell damage, so that's quite chunky there. And when you kill a monster, they burst with magic blood, dealing 50% of their max health to enemies within 6 meters. Bleed damage up to, it's quite high. This damage cannot critically strike, and that's going to be strong, but again that would just be against monsters unless it carries over to human players. Aelid Refuge or Refuge, that's a heavy set. Stamina, 2 lines of health, and blocking attack reduces your damage taken by 11% for 3 seconds. That's a little bit underwhelming, so I'm not going to be expecting that to be amazing. So, and the crafted set is Highland Sentinel, so 3 lines of crit chance. While in combat, each second you stand still grants you a stack of Sentinel's Eye. Increases your critical chance each second you move, removes that. So again, that's more maybe something for static fights PvE. So yeah, that could be quite nice there. Tharika's Strike, 3 lines of weapon spell. So all these sets seem to be quite stat dense at the moment. Dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack grants you Major Berserk for 4 seconds, increasing your damage done by 10%. This can occur once every second, so that's going to be basically a full uptime on Major Berserk. So that's nice. You can get Major Berserk from other sources, from other players, like the Storm Atronach. So that might not be like amazing, but it could be something to be viable on a heavy attack build. So I'm glad they've done a heavy attack set basically, so that's quite nice. Let's just adjust this quickly. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts so far. We've got Threads of War, which gives you a line of stamina, weapon and spell damage. Your light and fully charged heavy attacks gain 100% status effect chance. The status effect is based on your damage type of your weapon. Could be quite nice. Again, status effect chance, so you'll be applying them quite often, so that's quite good. So trial sets, Mora's Scribe's Thesis Light, Minor Slayer, which is on most trial sets, crit chance, max magic, another crit chance. Increases your critical chance by 120 of each major buff active on you. Increase your critical damage done by 1% for every minor buff active on you, up to 12%, so that's going to be a strong set. Strong set on a crit build, probably for PvE though. Silvers of Null Arca Medium, crit chance again, minor slayer crit chance, line of weapon and spell damage. Dealing critical damage gives you a stack of silver for 10 seconds. Consumes and launches crystals at the enemy dealing physical damage, so that's quite nice. It's going to be the Sundered status effect. Scales with weapon and spell damage. Once you loot crystals, you cannot gain silver for 5 seconds, so that's going to be a nice little proc set. Zorin's Masterpiece, so a line of Max Magicka, Minor Aegis, which again is on normal trial stuff. Magicka Recovery, Max Magicka. Increase your Max Magicka and Max Stamina by 1600 for you and up to 11 group members, so that's quite nice. Again, it's just a trial dungeon buff. Lucent Echoes, so it's a heavy set, so healing taken, Minor Aegis, max health, another line of max health that's perfected only. While you have more than 50% health, increase the critical damage and healing of your group members. That reduces your damage taken from monsters by 20%, so that's going to be a strong set for PvE. New mythic items, here we go. Let's see what they've got in store. So 3 new mythic items in this update. We've got Rorken's Steam Guards, Heavy Hands. Activating block while in combat grants you Steam Guardian for 0.5 seconds, reducing your damage taken by 99%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Blocking attack while Steam Guardian is active reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds. That's a lot to take in. Activating block while in combat grants you that. Reducing your damage taken by 99%, so effectively you're going to be immortal. While in combat, it does have a cooldown of 10 seconds, of course. And blocking attack will reduce it, so that is going to be quite nasty on a troll tank. That could be quite a nasty mythic. I can see that getting nerfed. Reducing your damage taken by 99%. That seems a bit crazy, doesn't it? It does have a long cooldown though, but I can see that coming down to probably 50% or something. Excuse me, I'm just going to cough. The next one is the Shadow Queen's Cowl, which is a light head. While crouched, you can see witnesses and guards through walls. Successfully pickpocketing a witness or guard that applies distraction to them for 10 seconds, stunning your target. Decreases your detection radius. So basically that's just going to be a mythic for... Yeah, Rawkin is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That's going to be changed. I don't think that's going to be like that. But the Shadow Queen, that just seems to be a thieving pickpocket sort of stunning your target. So it's just going to make it easy to steal. It's easy anyway, to be honest, and you can reduce the cooldown even more. That is, you know, that one is really mental. But this one is just a detection radius, you know, for guards and targets. You know, it's nice, probably a fun one, a fun mythic that is. The Saint and the Seducer, which is the neck one. While in combat, you gain 1 of 5 random major buffs with changes every 10 seconds. Enemies within 12 meters of you gain 1 of 5 random minor debuffs, depending on which buff you have. So that's quite nice while in combat. Major Berserker, you're going to get minor. You're going to give them minor maim, major resolve, minor breach, minor brittle. So yeah, that's not too bad. And it changes as well, so that could be quite nice. I don't think they're anything crazy from what I can see, but obviously this blocking one is going to be ridiculous. Rawkin Steam Guards, I mean, activating block while in combat grants you 99% damage reduction. So obviously it's 0.5 seconds, so you're basically going to be immortal for that time. Obviously it's a very short window, and the cooldown is basically going to be 5 seconds. So that's the main crazy one. So yeah, that is going to be definitely something out of all the sets. So that's the 3 mythics then. So I'm impressed by that one, but I think that's going to be changed. This one just seems like a fun one. This one seems okay. I'm not really seeing anything amazing from it, but I suppose the Major Berserk, the Major Courage is a nice one, but it's randomised, so it's a bit like the Daedric Trickery. We've got New Antiquities, which is a collectible mount, pets, outfits, all basic stuff. Emotes, mementos, a skin, adventure across a decade, achievement, face and body markings, dyes, that's all some nice good stuff. A new Tales of Tribute deck. I know there's not a lot of people that are fans of Tales of Tribute. I do quite like it. The only thing that puts me off with the Tales of Tribute is I think the rewards should be a lot better, but they're not that great. The thing that was good was the tapestries were quite expensive to acquire and quite tricky, but a new deck I suppose is always welcome. It just brings something to it, but I just think they should increase the rewards a bit better to get a more of appeal. Got new homes, new furnishings, 101, so there's going to be plenty of furnishing collectibles, which is always nice. New achievements and titles, that's not too bad. The HDR support is going to be good, bringing in that high brightness and contrast on PC. That's very, very nice. Character resolution, so they're just sort of graphical changes. Mail improvements. Oh, they're going to be stored separately to player mail, system mail, and system alerts. That's okay. Seems to be a hell of a tank mythic paired with certain skills that block all damage. Yeah, that I don't really think that mythic's going to stay as it is, because I know it's got a small 0.5 second window, but yeah, that is crazy, isn't it? That's probably going to be... Is that the selling mythic? They normally have a mythic that's selling the chapter, don't they? Let's just go back to it quickly. You know, that's going to be the mythic that sells the chapter in it. It's not going to be the detection radius one, is it? And the major buff one's a bit like Daedric Trickery, but that one, you know, that 99% damage block, what? that's going to be, you know, combined, like you said, combined with things, that is going to be crazy. That is what's going to be like, whoa, I want the chapter in it. But there's always a mythic. They've done it with the Oaken Soul, and then, you know, they changed it. So we'll have to see. But yeah, that's going to be 99% is just ridiculous. Obviously, they could make it 100%, but they might as well have done. So that's all the mail reward changes. They're going to make changes to the timers, blah blah blah. Reduce GP use. I should really close my Xbox because that's twiddling in the background. Let's quit that up. Right. So reduce GPU use. I don't think this game's that demanding anyway, but I suppose if you pushed it to its limit, it might be. Immunity or heals with Ring the Pale Order. I suppose that's ideal, because then you can see while you're not healing a player. I suppose it is a bit fairly obvious, but it's quite nice if someone's got that ring on. A bit obnoxious in a dungeon, but I've done it myself accidentally. Short time, but combined with sword and bald, ultimate and tank set. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I don't know. No, I think you could be right. Putting things in combination with that is. I don't think that's going to be going live, to be honest, in some way. I could be wrong. I could be reading it wrong, interpreting it wrong, but that just does seem a bit crazy, doesn't it? New achievements on the weapon skills, okay. A decade's worth of Tamriel's main storylines, right. During this we're supplying 2 templates, that's fine, so you can, if you go on the PTS, you can have everything unlocked, which is what they normally do. There'll be a standard and a scribing one, so you can play about with both, which I'll be doing. Gameplay, scribing, questing. So this is about the scribing, combat and gameplay. There, see some more impactful changes coming on. We have a very small number of class changes that are helping with some issues we've had long-term for. Templars may be delighted. Oh, here we go. Templars may be delighted to hear how we have access to some crowd control in their kit, with addition to immobilise the blazing spear, hopefully assisting with their tanking and jabbing capabilities. Dark shades for Nightblades will now always do area damage to help class games more impactful cleave damage. They're buffing Nightblades again. Oh dear. Wardens may find some value to their betting edge outside of PvP. Necromancers have regained some raw power back to their tethers. Let's have a look. I don't know. Outside the classes, we've made giving good head pats to werewolves. Oh my god, they're buffing werewolves. Come on. They've fallen far behind. Yes, they have, yes. With some changes to the morphs of raw to differentiate play styles between damage dealers and tanks or disruptors. Piercing Howl, while definitely will focus on helping out to control enemies. Wow, this is going to be a lot. Granting major protection while slotting. Oh my god, they're going to be tanky. Right, let's see if we can get into the actual changes then. Right, so let's go. Changes to the classes. Werewolves, yes. Oh yeah, finally. Right, so Arcanist, Herald of the Tomb, Abyssal Impact. So the flail. This morph now ranks up 1.1% healing per rank, resulting in 3.3 additional healing at rank 4, rather than reducing its cost per rank, as the morph upgrade does not interact with cost at all and was offering way too many unique advantages. So it's a nerf, probably needed, as the flail was very, very strong. So not much change there, but so Dragonite fixed an issue where the morph could sometimes cause your character to face the wrong direction after using. I use that quite a lot. I've never had that, so I don't really know what that's about. Right, so Necromancer, here we go. Gravelord, Shocking Siphon. Increase the damage per tick of this ability, and it's morphs by 33%. So they are closer to the stationary overtime effects rather than being treated as a sticky overtime effects. So that's a nice buff. Shocking Siphon. Don't know about that in PvP, PvE could be nice. Restoring to have increased the healing per tick of this ability by 14%. So they are closer to stationary over time effects rather than treated as halfway. I suppose it's a buff, not the buffs you wanted, but definitely some nice buffs, I suppose. The shocking siphon of the damage is going to be good. Nightblade, right. Summon Shade, Dark Shade. This morph now uses an area of effect attack rather than using it once every 5 seconds. More options for cleave damage. So again, that's a bit of a little buff there again. So it's going to be now use its area attack. So I don't know what that's going to be, to be honest. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably a slight buff. Who knows? Right, so Sorcerer, Dark Magic, Blood Magic. This passive now activates when you cast a Dark Magic ability with a cost rather than when you hit any enemy with a directly applied magic ability. This was done to make passives more reliable and easy to understand. Rather than you hit. So I don't think that's really anything too bad. It's just a simple change. The spears, this now causes initial hit to mobilise enemies for 4 seconds, so that's a nice little. The blazing spear is a nice little buff, so it's going to immobilise enemies. Stun shield is just a visual change. Another visual change on restoring aura. Betty Netch, this ability in its morph now increase your damage done for 5 seconds if no negative effect was removed from this ability. So that's gonna, yeah, it's gonna be better for PvE, I suppose, but it might give you a little bit of a damage buff. I mean, you're pretty much under negative effects all the time, so I don't know if that's going to be that great in PvP, but it's more, like I said, aimed at PvE. So, but again, it's a nice little buff. Rapid fire bow, fixed an issue where the visual effects will become stuck, so the visual change. Fixed an issue where 2 abilities also shot a phantom arrow, dealing 10 instances of damage. Oh, that's yeah, so there must be some sort of issue with the toxic barrage. I wasn't aware of that. Increase the damage over time effect to match the new damage per shot by 11%. So now that it applies 1 less tick, so it's going to be buffed basically, the toxic barrage. It's going to deal more damage quicker, just going to get 1 less tick. Right, so Werewolf is getting some buffs. This ultimate, so the Werewolf transmit, this ultimate and its morphs light and heavy attacks now deal bleed damage rather than physical. So you're going to get hemorrhaging. So that could be better, I'm not sure. These attacks now have a chance to apply, yeah, the stats effect now hemorrhaging with light attacks at 3%, partially charged heavy attacks at 5%, and fully charged at 10%. So that's an interesting change. Lacking a second ability, but with those with the beast within them have a hard time interacting with status effects and have fallen a bit further behind in damage production we'd like. We're throwing them a bone by letting them attacks have a small chance to apply them, while making the build path slightly more diverse. But werewolves don't like silver. Yeah, so it's going to be a nice buff to apply the hemorrhaging status effect, so it's going to just add in something. Raw this ability and throws one. Now apply a unique debuff called Terrify to enemies. They hit for 10 seconds. Terrify doesn't do anything outright, rather than place a tracking effect on enemies to help werewolves mark their prey. Okay, so it's a new debuff that doesn't do anything. Deafening Roar, this morph now grants major protection for slotting rather than major prophecy and savagery. While slotted, this also causes your heavy attacks to taunt enemies for 15 seconds. So this is basically, if you want to do damage, you'll pick one morph, and if you want to do a tankiness, you'll pick the other morph. So it's just, they've just changed it, so you can't have both. I thought he was going to get major protection and major savagery, but I think you've got to pick between the two. Piercing Hail, this ability no longer deals 10% bonus damage to enemies, instead it deals 10% bonus damage to enemies that are terrified. That's a bit... I know that should be fine, yeah, so when they're running away terrified or whatever and you've marked them, you're still getting a 10% damage bonus, so that is a buff. Howl of Agony Morph, this adds an additional 10% damage buff off balance enemies, stacking up to 20% when they're terrified, rather than 25 to enemies that you're facing or feared. The morph now also ranks up with cost reduction rather than ranking up with bonus damage effects. I don't know if that's a buff or not. It's okay, but you know you're only going up to 20%. And 25%, so when they're running away you're going to get a constant 20% basically stacking up to, and you only get the 25% when you're facing them, so if they run away you lose that, so it could be quite nice. Extended Howl of Despair extended the duration of buffs granted by Feeding Frenzy to 20 seconds up from 10, so that's quite nice. That's a nice buff there, doubled the buff. We've heard the Howling from Werewolf players that have been struggling to engage with these abilities. The changes up to allow interaction between PvP playstyles, so that's quite nice. Sea Shield, this ability now affects abilities with range of 28 meters or higher. So yeah, that's not a bad change. Fixed gradual ravages, fixed initially where potions made with these traits could trigger many other effects such as item sets. That's mechanical acuity. Damn, disconnected. I missed Necro. Yeah, werewolves are not buffed. The changes are a bit mediocre, to be honest. All they've done with the werewolf is just make it more, do you want to be a tanky werewolf and tank, or do you want to be an attacking werewolf? That's what they've done. So they've just made it a bit more separated. And with the Necro, I'll quickly jump back to the Necro. All they've done is the Shocking Siphon increases the damage of the ability by 33, so that is a buff. I'm not saying I don't know if I use on PvP, but PvE definitely. And Restored Tether increases the healing of the tick. So they're not the changes we hope for. But there's some buffs, I suppose. But yeah, not really anything of note, unfortunately. Just yeah, that Shocking Siphon could be nice though. Where was we? So yeah, that's to stop mechanical acuity that ravage health. Just a few adjustments down, some sets. Rush of Agony, changing that. Monster Masks. Just going through to see if there's anything else. Increase the drop rate of estate. Greaves, Environment Greaves, Mythic. So yeah, really there wasn't as many changes as I expected. Shock Tether is used by all Necros that uses Elemental Catalyst, yeah, so I'm glad it's got some use. The Tether I know does do a lot of damage, so that buffed is going to be good. I'm just scanning through to see if there's anything else of note, because I was sort of focusing on the class changes, but there doesn't seem to be too much. But obviously, yeah, they really mucked with the werewolves, didn't they? But I don't know if it's for good or better. We've just sort of broken them up into tanky werewolves that want to tank in PvE. They made them more PvE lined, and you know, separating them into more clearer of what this werewolf is doing. These are just bug fixes. So just more UI fixes, and that's it. Well, that's it then, guys. So that's the patch notes. The things of note are definitely the Mythic, so I'll be doing a video on that probably. And the sets are quite nice. There's definitely some interesting sets there. But that's definitely of note. It's crazy, the 99% damage reduction Mythic. That's definitely going to be changed. And there was just some changes to the classes, but nothing, you know, really that good, to be honest. It's just to bring it more in line with PvE, but just a bit of balance changes more than anything. I guess that is a Necro dot buff, a small one. Yeah, you know, you're probably going to want to slot it on your build now. But like I said, this could change. They could add more things down the line. It's only week 1. But yeah, that's the Shocking Siphon increasing the damage of its tick by 33%. That's quite a bit of a buff for that skill. And also there's a healing buff on the Restoring Tether, so they are clunky abilities though. I'm not big fans of them, but hopefully we can try and make them work. Could be good in PvE, because I don't do a lot of PvE too much, so I could be wrong. And again, the Dark Shade. Nothing on the Dragon Knight either. Done a Warden change, which is a bit weird, but PvE. They done Templar changes, but for PvE. Dark Magic change, it's not really a big change. Yeah, so they've made Toxic Barrage maybe a little bit stronger. And the Werewolf they've just mucked with. They gave it a slight buff maybe with the hemorrhaging status effects. Yeah, so, and just some weird changes, and adding a unique buff to Werewolf that doesn't really do much. Makes them terrified, or wherever that was. Yeah, they get a unique buff called Terrified. So there we go. It would be sweet if they added the lightning status effect on Tether. Yeah, just hopefully they make some more changes. It's a bit disappointing, really. They're definitely looking at the Werewolf, but I still don't think they've gone in the right direction. They're trying to make too many balances between PvE and PvP, in my opinion, and not getting it where it's needed. Rush of Agony gets a delay now. Yeah, I didn't really go over that properly, unfortunately. But yeah, some interesting changes, some weird changes, and some weird mythics. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there, guys, and thank you. Check Arena and Trial sets. Yeah, I'm going to go through the sets again properly. But yeah, there we go, guys. That's the patch notes. PTS patch notes, version 10.0.0 for the Gold Road. They're live. Go in and have a read. See what you think. Yeah, so but I'll definitely make a video on the highlighting the changes that I'm interested in and what I think other people will be, and go from there. So thank you to everyone that's tuned in and stuck with me, and I'll see you in the next stream.